Ingrid, you just completed a study about customer centricity in Dutch companies. Why did you, or why did Canon wanted us to do this research?
Customer centricity is a very heard of topic these days. Many marketeers talk about customer centricity or even buyer centricity. But the thing is, it's a sort of a container term, and many actually marketeers or companies don't really know what they mean. So we wanted to deep dive. We called it Expedition Marketing. We called it even that because it's quite an unknown area and it's a complicated area. It's not as simple as you think.
Okay. If you look at the results of the study, what were the most surprising findings?
I thought the most surprising findings were mostly the fact that whether you speak to a marketing director of company A or company B, they all have a different story on how to approach this. So the one company would say, we start changing things to become more customer-centric by doing things in marketing, and then we will influence sales and then the rest. Other companies say, look, we really start with the processes, we start with our infrastructure, our technology, and only when we've got that in order, then we can roll it out. Now, I'm not saying the one or the other is good or better, but it's really interesting that big companies in the Netherlands don't know really, I don't have a one way like where to start.
From looking at these companies that you interviewed, what do you think are the readiness to be customer-centric organization?
Most companies are not really ready. They can take little steps, do little projects, which is really advisable to do. But the complicated thing is that customer centricity is a department, it's across departments. It's not just the role of marketing. So you want to think about how you can get the buy-in from all these different departments and from the top management. And that is quite complicated.
Okay. Last question. What are the biggest challenge for these people that you spoke with? What is the biggest challenge in implementing customer centricity?
It's mostly mindset on the one hand and technology hurdles on the other. You really need to get the technology in place. For example, customer service will have to have systems in place to be able to serve the customer better. That's a practical thing, but also it's the mindset of all the departments. And that's a cultural thing, that's change management, and that's complicated, it takes time.
Okay, last questions. For the vendors who are serving those big companies, what are those companies that are after customer centricity, what are the top 5 investments that they're going to make on the road to customer centricity?
For the companies that want to achieve that, They will have to invest in customer data, they will have to invest in technology to get things in order and processes, but they will also have to invest in a long-term business case. Don't put sales at on the first priority. Think about how can you really think of a long-term strategy where you put your customers first. Those are 3. Now there's 2 more. There's one around the buy-in internal from your organization, and there's the last priority is to think about focus on the customers you really want to focus on.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we do it in Dutch.